As long as I'm governor of this great state, Texas will be a land for the Indian community, a land of peace. And we will continue to celebrate Diwali here in the great state of Texas. Happy Diwali, everybody. Happy Diwali.
I'm sure you've seen his videos going viral since it's exposing how Frisco is full of Indian people on visas whose allegiance is to motherland India instead of America. There is massive H-1B abuse and fraud in Frisco, Texas, and none of you care. All of you sit up there and do nothing but virtue signal and pander while you metaphorically piss on your oath to the Constitution. You all are tyrants. You all are cowards. You all are exactly what's wrong with American politics. And it's not just you. It's every elected official in Texas. Texas politicians send tweets like they're heroes. They host events that look like retirement home parties, and they all increase their wealth while increasing the wealth of their donors. And who gets screwed over? The Texas residents. Literally nothing has gotten better in our state over the last 5 years. Our cities are unrecognizable and filled with foreigners on visas. Our property taxes are the highest they've ever been. And Texas Governor Greg Abbott even brags about the surplus of billions of dollars Texas has from overcharging their residents with taxes. Every single one of you is an embarrassment to our country. You're an embarrassment to our Constitution, and you're an embarrassment to our founding fathers. If you were doing your job like you should be, you would have already tried talking to me.
Hey, somebody go get Buddy some tissue, man. Somebody go get Buddy some nice cotton tissue so he can wipe his nose. All right? Somebody go get him some tissue so he can wipe the tears off of his face. You mustn't get the news, buddy. All right? You must, where have you been? Where have you been? Have you seen the news? Have you been paying attention to what's going on? Well, it sounds like you have been paying attention to what's going on, but have you really been paying attention to what's going on? Right? Everybody is sold out. Every single body has sold out. It doesn't matter. Conservatives, Democrats, libtards, right? Republicans, reptilians. It does not matter. Every single one of them have sold out. Every single one of them have sold out the American people. It is done. It is donezo, right? Americans are being replaced. This has been in action for the past 20 plus years, right? Y'all sat back and was drinking your pina coladas. Y'all sat back with your nice corporate jobs. Meanwhile, you didn't see them undercutting the American people as we speak. You didn't see it, right? Some of you actually did see it, but you chose not to say something. But now, when it's right at your doorsteps, literally, now when you're staring it right in the mirror, when you're looking at it right in the face, oh, now you want to say something. Nah, it's over, right? See, let me tell y'all something. This is what's going on, right? They are replacing American citizens. They do not care for the American people. The elites do not care about the American people. And you got to think, why? Why exactly don't they care about the American people? I'll give you a few reasons why. Most Americans are doped up. They're either on pharmaceutical drugs or they're on street drugs, right? They're doped up on all kinds of antidepressants, antipsychotics, and street drugs, cocaine, methamphetamines, and weed, right? They're doped up, psychologically disturbed. And also, most Americans are just not the productive members of society that their forefathers used to be, right? So instead of investing a bunch of money into Americans that can't get right, they're just going to replace you and bring in, import the ones who do want to work, who come from real poverty, who comes from not really having money at all, who come from having to ration meals, but they went to school and got some degrees and they can, do the job, somewhat accordingly, and sometimes better than most Americans. That's what's going on, right? And simultaneously, they are tearing down America. I've said this plenty of times. They are basically tearing down the fabric, tearing down the foundation of what America used to be, or if it ever stood for anything in the first place. That's a whole debate by itself, right? But somebody go and get him a tissue, right? And you can sit up there and yell and scream and tell them how anti-American they actually are and blase, blase, blah. But you have anti-Americans at the highest point in office violating Constitution. So what makes you think that it's just not going to be a trickle-down effect? What have I told y'all? What is going on? They are simply emptying pockets and they're running, right? They're emptying pockets and they're running. They're accepting all the money that they can and they're taking flight, right? They don't care about you. They don't care about me, right? They don't care about what you believe in. They don't care about you being Mr. Patriotic. They don't care about you being Mrs. Patriotic. It does not matter. Greg Abbott, listen, look, I've already said many times, the conservatives are a bunch of fakes, right? They yell and scream, oh, we don't want any immigration and this, that, and the third. But meanwhile, they're taking under the table deals. They've been shipping them in. It never made sense in the first place, especially when you talk about the Mexicans, these Republican construction companies or MAGA head honcho construction companies were hiring illegal Mexicans from the get-go. But that's a whole, listen, many of these are a whole long drawn out conversation and it's basically hypocrisy is what I'm getting at. Many of these people are hypocrites. They're going to go where the money is. I don't know why you people think that the Republicans are going to save you, that the Republicans and MAGA somehow stands for America. No, it doesn't. Even Trump himself allowed how many thousands of Chinese immigrants over here to come over to go to school and to participate in the workforce? Come on, bro. Listen, they don't care about Americans anymore. That ship has sailed. The new money is the foreigners, right? The new money is training the foreigners. The new money is to get rid of Americans. And some may say rightfully so. Listen, I'm not here to debate, right? Americans are just not as productive as they once were, right? They rather ship in or import foreigners, right, than to deal with Americans. They rather bring in people who are going to submit to the system that they're trying to put in place than to deal with y'all, you know, whining and crying and, oh, you're not patriotic. Listen, I don't know if you got the news, buddy, but the majority of the politicians are not patriotic. I've already discussed this on many other videos. Y'all got to throw that patriotism away. I mean, unless you just want to die on the ship, just go ahead and die on the ship. Salute to you. I'm going to die for my country. Hey, go ahead and die, buddy. All right, go ahead and die. Right? Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to remember your name. Listen, guys, there's not enough fighting spirit Americans out here to start any kind of revolution or anything like that. It's done so. Right? It's done. I've said this plenty of times. I'm not going to be the one that die on that hill, right? In actuality, I'll be damned if I die on that hill. I'll be damned if I be the one to be like, oh, I need to fight for America. I want to save it. Nope. Nope. Ooh, let me take a drink of water. I'm in here screaming and yelling and carrying on. Listen, I am not about to be the one that die on that hill. And honestly, neither shall you. You shouldn't be the one that down that hill either. Most Americans are docile. Most Americans don't know what's going on. Most Americans can't tell you a constitutional amendment, the Bill of Rights, or anything of that nature. Nobody cares, right? Everybody's distracted. The whole country is divided. Immigrants this, blacks this, whites this. Everything is so divided. There's no togetherness. There's no cohesiveness. Give it up. Right? Man, how dare you give up on America? Listen, I'm not, I just know when to call a spade a spade. I know when to wash my hands and run for the hills. That's called being smart. Right? That's called seeing the writing on the wall. right? I've seen this years and years ago, right? They brought the Mexicans in, right? The labor class, right? They imported the intelligentsia class, right? The Chinese, the Indians, right? Brought them in, full-fledged replacement. So now you got the Mexicans working the labor jobs, right? Trying to push everybody out, whites, blacks, trying to push y'all ass up out of there, right? And then you got the intelligentsia, the Indians, the Koreans, the what else? The Chinese, right? They've been doing this for years, right? And then on top of that, most Americans are just not working hard enough toward those jobs in the first place, right? It's a double-edged sword. Because on one end, you can't complain about what people are legally doing. I understand illegally. But then you can't complain about what people are legally doing, right? I thought illegal immigration was the problem, not legal immigration. So now we're talking about legal immigration, but then people want to cry wolf, cry fraud. Well, then go find the fraud. Then you're talking to the wrong people. If there is immigration fraud, you might want to go talk to President Trump. You might want to go talk to the feds about that if there's really fraud. But most times when I hear this stuff, there's no proof of fraud. It seems like people just come here legally, out-earn you, outdo you, and buy up the neighborhood. Listen, you got to call a spade a spade. It is what it is. All right? And the sooner you accept this, the better off you will be. Right? America has been sold out. They've been sold out to foreign interests. They've been sold out to adversaries. Right? America no longer owns America. Americans no longer own America. America's for sale to the highest bidder. What part don't y'all understand? Right? Many of the Chinese are paying a premium to come over here and go to school. They're paying way more tuition to come over here to go to school than your little Billy Bob. Right? They're getting the right degrees and getting the right jobs with the right connections and the right network. I mean, listen, it's a double-edged sword. But ultimately, hey, you might as well give that up. Right? You might as well give that up. Well, they come over here and they show no allegiance to the United States. Neither are the politicians have allegiance to the United States. What the fuck are you talking about? Nobody has allegiance to the United States. These so-called patriots are treasonous. Nobody want to hear that. You still got people flying goddamn on Confederate flags around this bitch, and you want to talk about dang on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on. I really don't want to hear it. I really don't. You got people around here flying treasonous flags that should be punishable by stoning. But you want to talk about patriotism. You want to talk about somebody, oh, well, who do you pledge allegiance to? Their homeland. Yeah. So what? You got people walking around here flying treasonous flags. Why can't somebody show allegiance to their home country? The politicians don't give a goddamn. They ain't showing allegiance to the country. Why should anybody else? Right? Listen, this is a corporation. Money is to be made. Right? Nobody cares about that Constitution anymore. Right? MAGA made sure of that. Nobody cares about that Constitution. You might as well rip it up. That thing get violated every single month. Right? No, it ain't no patriotism left. There aren't no patriots. The so-called patriots are treasonous. Right? They don't believe in the Constitution. Right? Hell, you probably damn near don't believe in the Constitution, because if people are coming here legally, taking the right steps, then what is the problem? What is the problem? What is the problem with Frisco becoming Indian? If they're taking the right routes to become legal citizens, what is the problem? See, that's the problem with America. Hypocrites. You keep making up problems, right? And then putting those problems on everybody else, especially when the other people are doing better than you, right? Listen, you better get in where you fit in at. As clear as day, money talk and bullshit walk. Huh. Greg Abbott, he care about that moolah. All right, huh. Shouts out to him. All right, Trump care about that moolah, enriching his pockets and enriching his buddies' pockets. Shouts out to him, right? On the other hand, y'all are still sitting back talking about well, when are they going to come and save us? When are they going to do what's right for the American people? Never. 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 They're never going to do it. Ever. Your fate is in your hands, not a politician. They're filling their own pockets. Right? They're accepting money from the highest bidder. Right? It doesn't matter if it's from India, it doesn't matter if it's from Mexico, it doesn't matter if it's from the drug cartel. It doesn't matter if it's from the Russian oligarchs, right? Elon Musk. It doesn't matter. Because all they care about is that money. As you can see, there's no amount of whining and crying and going to your local council members. Oh, they taking over. Yeah. Tell us something we don't know. Right? Are you writing a check? Are you writing a check? Go ahead and write that check, then we'll get rid of them. Right? How much do they pay? 1.5 each. 1.5? 1.5 thousand? No, 1.5 million. You got 1.5? Right? That family paid 1.5. Right? Habab, them over there, they paid 2. Right? Just to be a little generous. Are you going to be a little generous? Right? Where's your foundation? Where's your corporation? Come on now, I'll teach you how to do this. Right? You want us to get rid of them? All right, you got to pay a little bit more money than they're paying. But you're not. You're not. Everybody want to save the world, but nobody want to grind and get that money to be able to save the world. Everybody want to save America, but everybody fat. Right? Everybody want to save America, but everybody's so busy on social media, right? Just talking about it, but ain't doing a goddamn on thing. Everybody wants to save America, but ain't nobody putting in the actual work to do it. So you know what America said? Screw y'all. Money talk and bullish walk. The afterpill is the ideology. The escape blueprint is the framework. And PFP life is how you should live. Purpose, freedom, and power. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. And hit that link in the description. Come over and join the family. We're having a coaching call, a group call, Friday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Don't miss it. It's only for Patreon members. And come and join the inner circle as well. We'll be having a group meet in the Dominican Republic at the end of December going into the New Year's, right? Listen, it's only for inner circle members only, and you have to come through the Patreon, right? Hit that link in the description, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
I built a life. I built a family. I worked my hands raw to get here, and I'm not done. This is the escape blueprint, PFP life, a way out of the grind and into control. You'll learn how I stack cash, build systems, and reclaim time so you can live on your own terms. You will watch me maneuver and grind towards the life that I achieve for myself, and you can also do the same. Join the circle, join the Patreon, learn the steps, and protect your freedom. The escape blueprint, PFP life.